Back Snappy Tomato Pizza with Coach Jason Simpson. Coach, I was watching you when I handed you the headset. You automatically switched the microphone from the right to the left
well,
side.
why
And I
do
forget
that?
because, you wear a headset all the time. Coaches always wear headsets.
Maybe I've got it on backwards. I don't know.
No, you got it exactly right. As a
Even
matter of
in-
fact, I was watching during our game against Southeast Missouri, and as you came back to start the third quarter, there was a young lady that was waiting to hand you the headset, and then you had to put it on. And people don't usually see all that stuff going on.
No, I tell you what, for, our Butch and his staff and Bart and his staff, the trainers, they really are do a great job, and they work so many hours kind of to get the players and the coaches ready to go. Really appreciate them. Hey, before we get going, I want to say I saw her before she was leaving, but Trudy, our thoughts and prayers go out with her and her mom, and I know Trudy means so much to everybody in the athletic department. We appreciate her, we miss her, and we'll be with her when she gets back.
That's right. Got a health report. Her mom's doing a little bit better, but certainly will be hospitalized overnight.
Okay.
We're almost certain. Coach, on the headsets now, when you're talking down there, you're communicating with your assistant coaches that are up in the booth. They're usually next to the radio booth.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because if they get real excited, sometimes you can hear them on our crowd mic. But what's going on in that conversation between you and the coaches upstairs?
Well, normally, in between series, you're talking about what worked well the drive before. You're writing down plays, you're charting fronts and coverages, and okay, hey, last time we had the ball, on third down, this is what they did. Okay, so, let's be prepared for this, next time. What are we going to start back with, next drive? What are we doing well? What are, are they doing anything that we didn't see from last week? Those type of things. And now in between series, during the series, you don't have a lot of time. The ball gets spotted, and you got about, from the time it gets spotted, you got about 30 seconds to make a call and get the substitutions in and the right personnel and make it go. So there's not a whole lot of talking except for maybe balls left hash, second 10, let's get the call in. And that's what's going on in that. So it's pretty it's quiet for a few seconds. I think it's pretty chaotic as far as making sure everything's how it needs to be.
We've talked about this before, but it's pretty obvious that the view from the stands is a lot different than the view for you as a coach.
Yeah.
And if you're an assistant coach up there, you just have a better perspective on what's going on.
Yeah, you do. They just look like a video game. It's like X's and O's running around. And, the things you do miss from up there are, you miss the energy, you miss the the intensity of the game and looking the players in the eyes, things like that. But you certainly are able to see, more calm, less distraction, being able to see, like I said, it's almost like a video game. And especially the bigger stadiums we play in, the higher up that you get.
It's interesting to me that if you're on the field and on the sideline and a play happens in the far corner, there's a lot between you and the play in the far corner.
Yeah, you can't see from the sideline. That's your spotters in the box. I've got to tell you, it's because there's a big difference of a call when it's second and 3 compared to third and 3 compared to third and 5. That you may, because you can run the ball on third and 3 and convert and get that first down. Sometimes on third and 5, they can be a little bit more difficult. So, those are crucial. It's hard to see at times, and defensively, it's it's a little bit different as well. You get the down and distance, but you also have a spotter. I say spotter, a coach in the box, and his job is to be able to tell the defense coordinator what personnel is coming to the game. 2 tight ends or 20, 2 backs, 1 tight end, or 10, And you got to picture this now. There's already 11 guys on the field. So let's say they're already in, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, 1 back personnel. Then all of a sudden they take 1 wide receiver out and bring another tight end in, or they take whatever the combinations are, and then their tendency then after your film study, this is what they're going to run based on the personnel that are on the field. So you see how crucial that is as far as somebody giving your defense coordinator, hey, this is what's coming on the field. And sometimes when people are standing on the sideline and they walk out a little bit, and coaches and players, it's hard to see who came off and who came on. It's a kind of a learned skill, but it's very vital to be able to get your team in the best situation to be successful.
It's like organized chaos out there sometimes.
Exactly.
And Coach, I'm not going to set you up to criticize the officiating, but there were even 2 plays in the game against Southeast Missouri where I thought we had scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
I had the luxury, and your coaching staff did too, probably to watch instant replay and see that was the case. One of them, in real time I couldn't tell, but the instant replay certainly showed us.
Yeah, I did. There was a touchdown to Kevin Anderson in the corner of the end zone. He had
both feet were in.
Yeah, and of course, that's a touchdown, and then we needed that one, and so I think that was the one. Was that the drive we actually? I can't remember if we ended up scoring or not.
Not 7.
Yeah,
maybe
not
maybe
3.
a field
That's
goal.
what it was.
Yeah.
We had to settle for a field goal. But, yeah, that's the touchdown we're missing.
The difference in the game was 31-27. It was 4 points.
And they missed it, but they also, like you said, didn't have, I'm looking at it through, Skyhawk glasses, and they're looking at it through, partial or, impartial. And, they don't have that's, where you would certainly love to have, like FBS does have, that instant replay, because that one would have been overruled and it would have been a touchdown.
Now, the other one was more difficult for me to see on instant replay. You've seen it several times when watching the tape. What happened?
And what happened on that one, so it was last play of the half, and we throw kind of the as we call it, prayer. Some people call it Hail Mary, and we executed it really well. We've got 4 guys there in the end zone. Jared Neal does a great job and gets the ball up there high, and Kalen Weathers, our tall redshirt freshman, 6'4" kid, goes up, and he catches the ball at the high point. And the officials are about, they're probably 15 feet on both sides, maybe even farther than that, trying to see who's coming down with the ball because it's a big scrum in the end zone. And we catch the football, but they all fall to the ground.
Right.
We catch it, our feet are on the ground, and then we fall out of the end zone. Well, when the officials get there, lesson learned for our player is that Southeast Missouri guy grabs it out of the hands of our receiver. So when the officials get there, all they do is see, the Southeast Missouri holding the football up, and so there's no touchdown. So
watching the film, when was the football grabbed out of his hand?
Well, he was out of bounds, but the official said, Coach, he's got to. He's got to complete the catch so I can see it. And I agree with that. I could see there's no way he could tell that we had it long enough to be a catch.
Right.
He just sees Southeast Missouri holding the football, and he can't give them credit for an interception because they're out of bounds.
Right.
So, but, yeah, we needed and I can live with that one, but the end zone touchdown just was missed.
And, there are even cases, and now an NFL game and college games too, they have so many camera angles that you almost see – you see what the officials have no way to see unless they watch the instant replay.
Exactly. And even against the Southland teams, Central Arkansas has instant replay, but they only have 4 cameras now.
Right.
So, you don't get the different views. And I don't know how many, like when we played at Kentucky, how many they have, but I'm sure it's probably,
more than 4.
8 to 10 probably. At least 8. Probably doubled that. So, we need a break.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said that during the broadcast. I said that during every game, certain things happen that could just go either way. What if it's a call by the official? If it's a deflected ball that falls into somebody's hand? And I just felt against Southeast Missouri we didn't get any of those breaks.
No, you're right. And there's a couple at the end of the game there that were. Once again, I show it to you on tape. Guys drug to the ground running pass routes, and where's that pass interference call to get you to 1st and goal? Still with 4 minutes left, and didn't get those calls. So, it's when you're sitting here and you're losing close football games, sometimes it feels like the sky's falling, and it does. I mean, we're here to win games and put a good product on the field and recruit quality players and. But then I look back and, 7 wins last year and 8 wins the year before, and you look at the Central Arkansas game last year, and there's a couple tight wins that we had. We're making a few more plays, and maybe we're getting a few more calls, and that's the difference.
Yeah,
that's the difference. We're 2 plays from being 3-2, okay, or maybe 2 calls from being 3-2 that are borderline or would have been seen on instant replay and stuff like that. So, those aren't excuses, but that is the reality of it.
I think it reminds me, and my memory is terrible, but was the 07 season kind of like this?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah. And the frustrating thing is I think this team is a lot more talented than that 07 team.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you look at, total offense right now. We're 2nd in the league at 480-something yards, right behind EKU, who's only played 4 games and we played 5. So, that's some of the frustrating part. But we haven't put a complete game together, on either side of the ball versus a quality opponent, and then we're not getting the results that we need.
Okay, we'll come back and specifically talk about the game as the Skyhawks fell to Southeast Missouri 31-27. Skyhawk Talk live from Snappy Tomato Pizzas on the University of Tennessee at Martin, Skyhawk Sports Network.